welcome to this Halloween reading. Let's go to the reading.
This will be the reading for those of you who chose for this Clear Andara. Let's see it focusing. So I will prepare the stacks now. So I will begin this reading and I will turn over the cards for the month of November. We find the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and another Ace of Earth, which is also akin to Pentacles. Now what I see is that you are very interested in starting something new, but you don't have the resources, you don't see a way how to do it. And you're mentally trying to figure out which is the way to go in order to start this new thing. But it feels like you can't see a solution and you may have to reconsider because you are not able from this situation to see the consequences of your choice yet. So the desire is definitely there and maybe even the opportunity, but you don't seem to be able to get all the resources that you need, and it's very hard to make a decision if you cannot oversee the consequences of your decision. So let me read what the Ace of Earth has to say for you. I just dropped the booklet. Let me see, the Ace of Earth. Property in its purest form, concrete results in the physical world, abundance made manifest. I recognize the many forms of abundance and plenty, and I align myself with success. I can generate gold from the resources I have at my fingertips. I make an impact. The essence of prosperity is taking form in the material world. Now these are affirmations that will help you to get yourself out of this situation of lacking. So if you just make sure that you affirm yourself in positive ways, that you are able to create abundance, you might be able to turn this situation around. And it may be easier to make this decision, and it will definitely be easier to start this new endeavor. So we move on to the month of December. We find the Queen of Swords, the Empress, the Chariot, and the Four of Water. Now the Queen of Swords is a woman that has been through a lot in life, and she's gained a lot of wisdom and a lot of people knowledge and a lot of discernment. She's an excellent judge of character, so she can use her wisdom in order to judge and size up people and to see whether they are what they say they are. And we find the Empress, and that is a very feminine attribute, to create abundance from very little. This card is the principle of being able to create a human being from one single sperm cell, or to create an abundant meal from one potato and an onion. So this principle is at work here as well. So we have a very intellectual female which has very great creative opportunities or creative gifts to create abundance. And also we find the Chariot here, and the Chariot is very much about willpower, a sense of direction, and being able to direct your inner urges and motives and impulses into something coherent, so that you can actually take it somewhere, which is usually what leads to success. And then we find the Four of Water. I will read for you the Four of Water from the booklet. Let me see. And this says, dreaming and introspection, contemplation, trusting in the abundance of opportunities. A lull in the actions offers a chance for me to dream even bigger than before. Whenever plans turn out not to have come to fruition as expected, I feel secure knowing that even greater things may await me. The universe conspires on my behalf, and disappointment and sadness will wash through me if I simply let them flow. I trust that Spirit has many ways of responding to my desires, and what I seek can take a variety of forms. I have faith in perfect timing and divine order. So this is the mantra that gets you somewhere, and that brings in all these energies that will most definitely lead to your success. It is just about trying to figure out what your goal is, where do you want to go, and that applies to this Chariot as much as to this Four of Water. Continuing on with the next month of January, we find the Queen of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Moon, and the Queen of Earth. I see a lot of feminine energies here. The Queen of Cups is a very caring and sensitive person. She's very sensitive to her own needs and psyche, but also to that of others. And she has a very nurturing capability, very understanding. She's an excellent listener. And her attention is very therapeutic to people. But also I see that she has to deal with some loss or disappointment. Something has gone wrong, and the feelings of sadness and loss are taking over. Also we find the Moon, so there may have been a case of deception here. Maybe there was a misjudgment of the situation that led to this disappointment, and the feelings of sadness that come along with that. Another characteristic I see here is the Queen of Earth, and the Queen of Earth is also a very caring and nurturing person, but more in the material sense. She nurtures things to grow. She makes sure that every need is met, every physical need is met. And therefore the combination of these two is very fertile. Being able to listen and pierce through any illusions of the psyche, in combination with the earthly capacity to take care of one's and everyone's needs, is very positive. But sadly enough, somehow there was a misjudgment of the situation, which led to this Five of Cups, this feeling of loss, and the focusing on loss. And the best thing you can do in a situation like this is, accept the feelings of loss, but don't cling on to them. Let them flow through you, as the tides of the moon lets the water flow as well. This will pass. But now I will read for you the Queen of Earth from the booklet. The Queen of Earth. Practical and grounded, trustworthy, earthy, resourceful, a gardener who tends to what has been planted. I am committed, down to earth, and clear about my goals. I am honest as I work with others to keep it real and be true to what we are doing and the challenges before us. I use all my resources wisely, whether they are finances, opportunities, or people willing to help me in my endeavors. So this situation, the sense of loss, it may seem that you have to be careful with your resources as well and use your talents in this realm of being. Maybe you are too understanding and have been deceived that way, too trustworthy of the good in people that led to this disappointment. The next month of February, we find the Ten of Cups, the Magician, the Ace of Cups, and the Ten of Earth. So you apparently have managed to shift the situation of this month entirely around, because the Ten of Cups is the ultimate happiness. You are extremely happy, you have a very happy family life, and your emotional cup is filled to the brim. You absolutely enjoy every aspect of your life, and you feel emotionally very, very satisfied. The Magician tells me that you have been able to create the world and the reality that you wanted to, and the Ace of Cups is giving you some insight in the fact that you can actually do this. So it brings you a little more wisdom and insight in your own capabilities of creating the life that fulfills you. And the Ten of Earth is also about physical abundance. So your sparingly and wise use of resources in the previous month has led to an abundance in this month. So let me read what the Ten of Earth has to say for you. Affluence, material abundance, mastery, financial security, inherited wealth and knowledge. I am now able to step back and observe the results of what I built through my dedication and hard work. I claim ownership of the castles I built that have taken form in the material world. I have achieved mastery and inherited treasures of knowledge and experience thanks to all I have been through. I smile appreciatively at my run of good fortune. It may even be indeed that you received an inheritance of some sort, but I don't, maybe it could refer to this kind of loss that happened in January, but I didn't see the death card, so I don't think this is actually an inheritance, but there is some way that all of a sudden things changed from being sad and having to be sparsely and wise to an extreme abundance by your own creation. That is what the Magician also refers to. So it certainly doesn't look very bad for you this month, but let's go on with the month of March and see what happens there. We find the Four of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and Two of Water. Somebody is trying to manipulate you out of some of your wealth. It's a theme that I come across often when someone has a lot of success and achieves some wealth and prosperity for themselves. There's always people who want to take their share if you are not willing to give it. So you may be able to prevent this situation of Seven of Swords, which is about thievery, if you just give some of your wealth and don't hang on to it too tightly. But anyway, you do feel that you need to think the situation over, and I suspect that has to do with these events that are happening in your life. So you are probably contemplating if you did the right thing, did you make the right decisions, and now you know this on the forefront, you can decide to prevent this thievery situation by being a little more generous with the wealth that you have achieved. I will read for you the Two of Water to see what they have to say about this. The Two of Water. Harmonious partnership, loving and lasting relationship, heart connection between two souls. I partner with the one who is in harmony with me. Together we explore what is and what might be, knowing we are there for each other. Two hearts beat as one as we take turns replenishing and encouraging the other. I have someone who can bring out the best in me, and I can do the same for another soul, for we are all expressions of the divine love. This is very beautiful, but still I would be a bit wary that it is not the lover that you have that is after your wealth and scheming to get his or her hands on it. So be aware and look closely at the situation. Sometimes if people are warned up front, things might change, so this might not even happen. Now you have learned of it. For the month of April, we find the Four of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Messenger of Fire. Now the Four of Cups is about dreaming and fantasizing, and the Two of Wands is about planning ahead in the future from a safe base. So you are definitely in a place that you are dreaming and making plans for the future, and you are garnering all the energy and all the creative ideas and resources that you need in order to execute your plan. So it seems that you have found a way or are looking for a way to give rise to your creative urges, and that you are daydreaming about what you can do and making serious plans for the future. And the Knight of Wands is also the leader, the active force of creation. So it seems to me that there is a creative endeavor that you are trying to manifest in life. And I would definitely say, go on, continue. We have another Messenger of Fire, which is akin to the Knight of Wands. So this also amplifies the Knight of Wands and the creative energy and the active force of manifestation. So let me read what this Messenger of Fire has to say for you. Determination for a new adventure, innovation, independent creative action, spirited and headstrong. I have an unstoppable spirit and can co-create all that I desire. Surrounded by spirit, illumined by the wisdom that rises up within me, I set forth on a path to innovate. I trust in my vision and act accordingly, remaining true to what I most value and desire, which can manifest in many forms. So this definitely amplifies the meaning of you dreaming and making plans for a new endeavor in the future. So for the next month of May, we have the Prince of Cups, the Four of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and Temptation. Oh wow, what I see here is that someone is kind of offering their love. Someone is interested in a romantic way and wants to start a relationship, but it seems that you are turning this person down. Maybe you are more interested in someone who is in a material way more established, or maybe you are the one who is established in this way and kind of suspicious about the motives of this Prince of Cups. And that is the more amplified by this temptation, because there is apparently some temptation. Either it's the Prince of Cups who is tempted by your financial stability and abundance, or you are tempted to go into a relationship that may not be about love, but more about material gain. I will read for you the temptation card. Temptation is about attachment. The material world is my playground, but I need to be careful not to be attached to outcomes. This is a warning for me to watch for excess and to know what is not healthy for me. When this card shows up, it is a sign that I am focused on the material realm and need to be aware of any excess or addictive behavior, my own or that of others. And I highly suspect that you need to be aware and wary of this Prince of Cups, because he might not be what you need right now. So we continue on with the month of June. We find the Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, the Seven of Cups, and Two of Fire. The Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing and a caretaker in a material sense, very well fine-tuned to the material needs of themselves and the people around them. The one that nurtures a child to grow up, or nurtures a homestead or something like that. But also there is this sense of adventure, and the way there are possibly a lot of opportunities and choices presenting themselves that tempt you to take the plunge, to take a risk, to do something that's kind of out of character, because the Queen of Pentacles is usually very conservative, very bent on safety and security in the terms of material needs. But this Seven of Cups tells me that you might be bored and looking for some excitement, want to do something new, which is indicated by the Fool. I hope this will not turn out to be a rash decision, because they mostly don't turn out the way you like to. But let's see what the Two of Fire has to say about that. The Two of Fire, creative planning for the future, mapping progress, trusting in the unknown, spirited, inspired ambition. Whenever I can't see how my dreams will coalesce into form, I can trust in the process of co-creation and engage more deeply in the process of envisioning something new. I have already started to make progress, and soon my passion will attract the perfect situation for me. The light of spirits helps me to see the way, and I feel the universe aligning to bring me what I need. And yes, there are a lot of options, and something new beginning. You start from a safe place where needs are met, and you are probably thinking about starting a new adventure. The month of July we find the Ten of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Hanged Man. Interesting. Interesting. The Ten of Wands is about taking on more that you can carry. You have taken on a lot of things at the same time, and now you discover that the burden is quite heavy. So what do you do? Do you continue with the risk of breaking your back, or do you set down some of your projects and focus more intently on one or the other? At least there is something that you need to resolve, because you cannot continue on this way. You need to resolve some issues and get some insight in the situation as to why you keep on taking on new projects, probably without finishing the other projects, which lead to you becoming overburdened, and the possibility of a burnout. And the burnout is also kind of depicted in this card, where there is stagnation, where you cannot go any further any longer, and you have to make some sacrifices. You have to let something go in order to find some insights, the Page of Swords, in why this happens to you. So let me read the Hanged Man for you. The Hanged Man is about surrender. Sacrifice and surrender are necessary at times like this. Nothing in life is free, nor does everything happen according to my timetable. When this card appears, I am reminded that a delay is in my best interest, that until the elements are in place, I am meant to surrender to the greater will for the highest good of all. Time for me to let go of my attachment to how I thought things had to be. I am called to surrender and wait to see how things play out. So, like I said, this is very much about making a decision to let something go, and you have to choose which one of your projects you will let go. Will you prevent getting into a situation where you cannot go forward at all? There we have the month of August, which gives us the Star, the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and Strength. Somehow I feel that you do not really let some projects go, but you do seem to have another mindset. And you know, maybe you have to go only a little further. So there is this hope that keeps you going. And the emotional fulfillment that you find at the end of your journey is what you're looking forward to harvest. It seems that you might even get there, but maybe it may take a little while longer. Maybe you need to take small steps ahead and focus on your inner life and your emotions in order to know whether you are still on the right path. If you do that, you might certainly find that you are able to harvest the fruits of all, or at least a few of your projects. So let me read for you the card of the Strength. I find a lot of major arcana here in the Good Tarot. So there are big energies going on in your life, and I also see a tendency that you keep on fantasizing and starting up new projects. So let me see. Strength and endurance. I can go the distance and know that everything occurs in divine appropriate timing. I have courage as I manifest miracles. When I allow Spirit to work through me, I am strong enough to move mountains and overcome any obstacle, inside or out. So apparently you do find some strength inside yourself that makes it possible for you to indeed go on and to reap the harvest of your fruits before you fall out with a burnout or anything else in the lines of what was in the cards for the month of July. You are an extremely strong person if you manage to continue and manage to find the resources within yourself to continue, even though you are carrying a heavy load, which will yield you a bountiful harvest. For the month of September, we find the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Tower, and the High Priestess. It seems that it finally happened. You are juggling so many things at the same time and you are desperately in need of some rest. You feel like a breakdown is about to happen. So you did went the extra mile and you were possibly able to get the harvest like we saw in the month of August. But now you are breaking down. Now you are falling apart. And you need some time to recuperate because you have been carrying too many things and trying to bring too many things at once at fruition. So, yeah, it did happen for you, but this will also be a great lesson for you to heed your intuition, and you know that you did manage to get there. But let me read the High Priestess for you, another major arcana, major energies. So let me see what great lesson you have learned from all of this. High Priestess is about mystery. Some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds me to trust that I have access to higher wisdom and knowing when I tune in and trust my vibes. This is the time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. So, I believe that this falling apart is also part of a growing process. What you've learned is that you are strong enough to go the mile and get your goals, but it also tells you that sooner or later you will find it will turn on you and it will break you into pieces, and you need some time to recuperate and internalize this new lesson that you have encountered by this experience. And for the last month we have October next year, and we find the Eight of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, Temperance, and the King of Earth. Now the Eight of Pentacles is about building skills. It's about doing something over and over and over to gain experience and knowledge and to build skills in whatever you do. And Temperance is about mixing different energies. And Five of Swords is about overcoming a conflict. So it seems that you are getting more skilled in taking on different aspects and blending them together. But it's not without a fight. People object to your way of working. But also because of that you are becoming more skilled in posing your ideas in such a way that it will convince people that what you do is your path and that you need to follow your own way. There is something that you would like to bring into the world. I see the Eight of Pentacles and Temperance. There are both alchemical processes going on here. So there is something about combining energies, combining materials even, and changing them into something new. And that can be for literally material substances, but it can also be about ideas. Either way, It is something that is new, and everything new gets some resistance. So you may have to fight in order to convince people to get this done, or to convince the world around you that this is what you want and need to do. Let me see what the King of Earth has to say for you. The King of Earth is about enterprising, philanthropy, the ability to attract abundant wealth, magnanimity. That's a word I don't get. Magnanimous, conscious manifesting, and a reliable leader. I have trust and faith in the invisible, and I know it will manifest in the realm of form the way I need it to. Opportunity can be found anywhere and everywhere. Because I am competent and committed, I am ready for abundance to manifest now in the world of conditions, in a form that is aligned with my highest good. I manifest all that I desire, consciously aware of the need to stay focused and grounded in the everyday work required. So this is about your conviction that whatever you are doing in these two cards is actually going to bring you the abundance and the financial stability that you seek. Yet another new endeavor you have taken on. So if you enjoyed this reading, I hope you actually did enjoy this reading. You can contact me for a private reading if you like to. My my email is in the description box below. You can also become a Patreon and get access to an exclusive Facebook group and exclusive materials. And if you don't want that, that's fine by me. You can also like this video, share and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to be notified about whenever I upload another video, you can click the bell icon. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I bless you and I wish you a great year. Bye!